Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my most anticipated movies of 2020, and I can't wait to get back to the theater. We've been locked out of the theater for a little over a month now, so when we are finally able to get back and go to the movies, these are the movies that I'm going to be looking forward to.
Captain, my captain.
I'll be back.
I'm the king of the world!
Iron Man.
I have picked out 10 movies and I'm going to be listing them off here, but they are in no particular order. They're not in a 1 through 10 ranking system or anything like that. These are just 10 movies that I'm most excited for.
What's your name, honey?
I'm Joe. I teach middle school band.
And we're going to start off this list with a brand new Pixar film that's expected to hit theaters hopefully sometime this summer. Again, we really don't know, but as of right now, the schedule hasn't changed. So we're going to go first with Soul, the brand new Pixar film. It's expected to be a really, really good movie, and I'm extremely excited for it. This is a new original concept from Disney Pixar, and this one stars Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, Questlove, just to name a few. As for the plot of this film, I'm not really sure what's happening when I watch the trailer, but that's okay, I don't really want to know. The worst part about trailers is that they give away the entire movie, and that's not the case for Pixar's Soul. So I am extremely excited for this one, and everyone loves a new Pixar film, and usually Pixar doesn't disappoint, obviously minus The Good Dinosaur. We just kind of forget about that one. Next up, Tenet.
That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
A brand new Christopher Nolan movie. Do I really need to say more? This is his first movie since 2017's Dunkirk, which is an amazing movie. So if you ever get a chance and you haven't seen that one, definitely check out Dunkirk. Great war film. This movie will star the very underrated John David Washington, the son, actually, of Denzel Washington. And of course, Robert Pattinson is in this one. And I do think Robert Pattinson will make a great Batman, but obviously that's for a separate video. That leads us into Wonder Woman 1984. I really liked the first Wonder Woman. I did. I had obviously some issues with the film, but I did overall like it, and I really thought it was a breath of fresh air, especially with what DCEU was putting out before that. Besides Man of Steel, it was a hot mess. It was garbage movie after garbage movie, and Wonder Woman came out and pretty much everyone was thinking it was going to be the exact same thing, a terrible movie, and it ended up being pretty darn good. And the DCEU is coming off a really hot stretch of movies as of late. I feel like they finally kind of found their stride. You know, Shazam was good, Aquaman was good, Birds of Prey was good. All these movies leading up to this make me think that Wonder Woman 1984 will either be just as good as the first movie, or at least a pretty adequate movie.
Into the French Dispatch, a factual weekly report on the subjects of world politics.
Now we're going to get a little award seasoning. We're going to throw in some award season bait, and we're going to go with the French Dispatch, the new Wes Anderson film. Now I'm not particularly crazy about Wes Anderson films. He's never really been my kind of director, but I do respect his style, and I am excited to really see anything that he puts out. This film is being described as a love letter to journalists set at an outpost of an American newspaper in a fictional 20th century French city. And this one has an absolute stacked cast from top to bottom. I'm not even going to begin to list it because the list really goes on who is in this film. And that's usually how Wes Anderson films are. Now, a lot of Oscars are going to be thrown at this one come award season. So it's one that I'm definitely going to watch and am getting pretty excited for.
Before I was an Avenger, I made mistakes.
Going away from the awards and now going to the MCU. I absolutely love the MCU, so I'm always thrilled when a new movie comes out. Now this one was supposed to come out in May, but it has been delayed, and this one is Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson is stepping back into the role. Now I do wish that this was filmed before the events of Infinity War and Endgame. Obviously, rest in peace Black Widow. I feel like it would have fit into the timeline a lot better than having to go back to this movie after all we know so far. But I still am pretty excited for it. I've definitely enjoyed Scarlett Johansson's turn as Black Widow. I think she's played that character phenomenally, and I am excited to see the new cast that comes with it, including the very talented Florence Pugh, one of the best young actresses out there, and of course, David Harbour will be stepping into a role as well, and that's just going to be a lot of fun to see on camera.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets.
Next up, James Bond, No Time to Die, 007, back in theaters. Daniel Craig's final turn as James Bond. He has been an amazing Bond, in my opinion. I've absolutely loved his turn as this very historical and famous character, so I'm excited to see what happens in No Time to Die. Now, I didn't love Spectre, so I'm hoping that this is better than Spectre, but Casino Royale is one of the best, if not the best Bond film to ever come out. That movie is phenomenal top to bottom, and if it returns to that kind of form, I will be thrilled to see this. This is a movie that I'll be definitely checking out when it finally comes into theaters. Now it's time to take a step right into the danger zone. Of course, you know what I'm talking about, Top Gun Maverick. And obviously this is going to be in my 2020 most anticipated movies. Who didn't love the 80s classic featuring Tom Cruise? He's returning as the character Maverick. He's also got new people to come along on this adventure. It's gonna be great. The trailers, by the way, look phenomenal so far. I'm really excited to see this one in theaters. Next on the list, Da 5 Bloods, the new Spike Lee joint, which is expected to come out this year. This is following up his 2018 movie BlacKkKlansman, which I really enjoyed. It is also his first movie since winning his first Oscar for adapted screenplay for BlacKkKlansman. This movie will be starring Chadwick Boseman in the lead role, and I think come Oscar season, Da 5 Bloods is going to be right there in the thick of things. I think there could be a Best Actor nom for Chadwick Boseman. I think Spike Lee has a chance of winning Best Director. I think this movie has a lot of potential coming with it, and I'm excited to see it play out. Also coming out later this year, Dune, the new Denis Villeneuve movie. I've probably butchered his name, but it's okay because everybody does. But that doesn't mean he is not a fantastic director. I don't think there's a movie that he's come out with that hasn't been good. Therefore, I'm excited to see what he does next and what he does with this remake of Dune. It's going to star Timothée Chalamet along with a long list of actors. Big names going to be in this one, so I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm sure this one, just like the other movies I mentioned, going to be in the thick of it come award season.
My God.
And I don't really know why this is on my most anticipated list. I really don't know why. I put it on there because every time one of these movies comes out, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping it's going to be great. And then I end up just leaving the theater disappointed. Now, I love watching monsters destroy cities just as much as the next guy. And of course, I'm talking about the upcoming movie Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, Kong Skull Island, I was excited to see that. Disappointed. Godzilla King of Monsters, I was excited to see that, left disappointed. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping maybe Godzilla vs. Kong will see an epic fight. Maybe we'll see an epic battle. They'll come together, they'll team up. It'll be probably a lot of fun. I will probably, I don't know, hopefully enjoy myself in theaters. I'm hoping that they don't ruin it, but so far the last two turns haven't been great. The first Godzilla back in 2014, that one actually wasn't bad. I did enjoy that one, but it's kind of just been downhill since then. So hopefully Godzilla vs. Kong, they right the ship, and I hope that this is going to be a fun, awesome popcorn flick to really enjoy.
There are people out there. People worth saving.
Last but certainly not least, we got A Quiet Place 2. I am extremely excited for this one. I loved the first A Quiet Place when it came out just a couple of years ago, so I'm excited to see what John Krasinski does in this follow-up film. Now, when people went to A Quiet Place back in 2017, no one really knew what to expect, but when they left the theater, they left pretty impressed with what Krasinski did, so I'm excited to see what he does with part 2. Now, obviously, I did have some issues with the plot. I thought there was a lot of plot holes in the first one, but I was able to look past those plot holes because the overall film was really good. So I'm hoping to see more of that here in the second one, and I hope it's just as good, if not better, than the first.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name reported.
In other films that I'm excited for that didn't quite make this list, One is In the Heights, the new Lin-Manuel Miranda film. I am excited for that musical. In terms of musicals, I'm also excited for Steven Spielberg's take on West Side Story. I hope he does good with that, but it is Spielberg, so really any Spielberg film is pretty good, so I'm excited to see what he does next. Also, I'm excited to see Ryan Reynolds' new film, Free Guy. I think that's going to be an awesome take on video games. And of course, Disney's Mulan. I'm hearing great things so far about this movie, saying it's the best live-action remake yet. Obviously not much competition, but still excited to see that one in theaters. And that is my list for my most anticipated movies of 2020. I am excited to see all these movies, hopefully when the theaters open back up later this year. As for what you're most excited for, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course ring that bell to stay up to date with whenever I post a new video. We'll see you in the next one.